Okay, first off, an apology for the terrible lighting. It is becoming summer, and so I've had to close my outside blind that is that way, so I get a lot less this way light now. All my light's coming from over here, which is very far from optimal. Oh, and overhead lighting, which is not optimal either. But I have purchased a new fill light that I'm hoping will arrive soon and will solve this issue, because since I've moved to filming in this location, it's been really not as good as it used to be, the lighting, but oh well, it is what it is. Anyway, I will be picking today 6-pack by the Tin Man. I have had a bit of a go at this one already, and it is damn tricky. Feels like every time I set a pin, I'll lose 2 others. So draw myself a little false set marker. I've been trying to go right down from the bottom. See, is this? Yeah, that'll work. But it's challenging. So I've been using the Sparrows SS Dev. I'm going to try and use this 0.4mm multi-pick and see if this works for me better. Yeah, anyway, that's pin 1. Feels set. Is there more on pin 1? Yep. Was that more, or did we overset it? I think that was. Anyway. Alright, 2. It's very talkative, and yet at the same time, extremely difficult. Oop. Trying to lose my tension. Alright, there's one at the back. I think we got that. Alright, there's one. Just going up and back down the pin stack. The counter rotation is really quite obvious, but just because it's obvious doesn't mean anything wants to stay bloody set when you set it. This is also made out of a Sergeant lock body, which Sergeant do make some very nice high tolerance locks. So anything made out of a Sergeant, it's going to be good to begin with. Come on. Come on. There's such clear feedback, and yet there's so much ping pong in this thing. All right. Oh! Oh, that's great. I got it finally. Whew, okay, that was not a terrible filming attempt. Alright, so I got that in 5 minutes, but I spent at least a solid, I don't know, half an hour yesterday going back and forward, back and forward, back and forward. I think switching to this multi-pick actually did help. The feedback felt a bit better, slightly stiffer in the handle than the SS Dev, which is a teeny bit thinner. I think the added rigidity of this helped, and the slightly fatter tip helped to stay on target, and also the reduced shank height does help. Anyway, there you go. I've got a key. So, okay, that works beautifully. Got lockpicks bloody everywhere on my bench. Let's get this gutted and see what is inside. As soon as I work out where my screwdrivers went, just remembered my wife stole them. Very disorganized. Alright, here we go. Flathead. Let's pull that key out. A couple of positions. I really hope this lighting I've purchased does help, because it cost me $100 and something. Nice LED panel thing. It's like 96 LEDs, adjustable color temperature. Should make a nice diffuse light. I don't know. Hopefully it helps, because I hate to have spent that much money on it and it not help. But really, what I've got right now is far from professional. But it does the job. Alright. So, there we go. There's our core. Got nice pins there. I can see, yep, we've got core mods all over the place. Feels like we've got an overmilling on one. I can't tell if that's a lip or if it's just overmilling. I think it's overmilling. Some serrations on 2. Overmilling on 2. Tiny little countermill on 3. Nothing on that one. And yeah, that tiny little countermilling lip on 6. I almost wonder if that's threading that just hasn't gone in very deep. It's hard to tell. No, I think that's like a barrel milling. Like an acid barrel. 1, 2, 3. Whoop. Some nice torpedo tape pins here. Oversetting really felt like too much of an issue on this one. Well, I don't know, maybe it was. It definitely was harder before when I was trying to pick off this, there's that keyway, and it's not terrible. You can get through the bottom, but it's quite tight going in between that gap. So I was trying to pick off this sort of warding here, but then I was having trouble with there's a reasonably extreme bitting. So from the bottom was easier, but also needed a much steeper pick. Oh, man, that just went flying out. Okay, yep, that explains that. That needed a lot of setting. Wow, that's a really nice pin. Spring went flying out of the body though. 2, gently. Alright, nice deep hourglass shaped spool. 1, 2. Alright, another deep spool. Alright, we've got a... Oh, that's interesting too. Man, there's some good looking pins in here. I suspect partly more than the pins is simply the super high tolerance and the ping pong. It's hard to design ping pong like this has got. Oh, hello. That's a nice rattlesnake on 6. Yep. And what have we got? A nice Step spool. They're very thin lips on these. Very fine work. All right, so 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Doesn't look like any Bible mods. Nope. That looks pretty factory stamped in there. Here are these pins. Try and keep my head out of the way so the light's still good. So look at these really fine, deep multi-step that sort of gets thinner as it goes up. It's a nice hourglass spool here. Steep spool with a standard section. This thing's cool. Gets narrower and narrower. This one as well, like a double lip. And look at how thin that is at the bottom there. And at the top, for that matter. And this beautiful, 1, 2, 3 floating wafers. And this fat section at the bottom. Nice pin. And then overset traps on all of these. Really, all around, a very nice lock. It was 6-pack. Tinman 1986.